Hey everybody, it's me, Mann, and it is almost the end of 2017. We got about another 2 weeks, but I wanted to do a video to go ahead and to kind of go along with a blog post that I wrote called Reconciliation in 2017. And basically what I meant by that is that 2017 for me has been a year of reconciliation. It's been a year where I've had to dig a little bit deeper with regards to me and who it is that I am, and some of the transactions or some of the experiences that I've had, and I've been able to reconcile them within myself. But then there's also another part to that where I've had to reconcile relationships with other people, mainly people in my family. And so it's been amazing for me, only because it has allowed me the room to expand a little bit more. And 2017, unlike 2016, of course, it was another year where I've had to really open myself up and begin to look at who it is that I am as a person. But this year, for me, 2017 was about me not only still looking at myself, but also looking at the way that I had, I guess, entered in or not entered into relationships with other people, which meant, mainly for me, it's been my family. I had to kind of go back for some years and be able to look at some relationships, and a lot of it wasn't because I said, well, let me go back and let me look. It just kind of happened that way, and God is so amazing to be able to do that. Somewhere in 2014, and I know this because I just had this conversation probably about an hour or two before this video, but somewhere around 2014, my higher self began to understand that I was going into another level. I was going into another space that was very important that I get whatever it was that I needed to get in this time frame, because if I had not, or if I did not, I would be stuck or remain in the space that I was in. If you know me, I don't like to be behind. I don't like remedial classes. I don't want to be, I don't want to do any of those things. I want to be on the bus where the geniuses are and whatever it is that I have to do in order to be on that particular bus, and which is my own bus, to be honest with you. Is really trying to delve into the part of who is it that I am on this space, and what have I done in my life that I can carry over with me into the next space, and looking at those things that I have done that I don't want to carry over, but in order to not do something to carry those over, I need to actually reconcile some relationships. And so again, it was nothing that I just immediately came to. They began to happen. God had been putting certain people back into my life, starting with my youngest son, where I've had to sit with him for almost a year and a half, and us have a different relationship than we've ever had before. And so, excuse me, I don't want my tea to get cold because it's really good. And for me to have that relationship with him and to grow in a different space, and we can move, lightly, gently, and smooth into wherever it is that we're going. It's not to say that we won't have any issues or anything of that nature, but that we've been able to let go of some things that we needed to, and we probably didn't even know that we were carrying. And then just recently, I wouldn't say reconcile with another one of my sons, because we've always been in a space where we are, in that loving space and calling each other and dealing with each other from a different way. But I think what happens for me is what has been happening is that I have been privy to more of their lives, and they've been sharing these stories with me that I, either was there or I was not there. So it's allowed me to look at me as a mother, or look at me as a sister, or look at me as a friend, and say, you could have done better. Like, you really could have done better. It's not that I didn't want to. It's not that, I purposely didn't do better. I did what I knew for that particular time. But as I look back on it, and you're able to, kind of see things from a distance, and you're able to say, wow, like, this is what they were going through. And for them to be in such a loving space, and I have to say that there's in such a loving space, such an unconditional loving space, that no one has said, well, you weren't there and you didn't do this and you could have done that better. No one has said any of those things to me. The stories that we are sharing are just stories that are just happen to come up, and they're not condescending stories. They're not stories to place blame or condemnation or any of those things. So I think that one being that type of story has allowed me to see it from such a loving space, and to see it as it really is, as they are telling me the story and having it unfold, and seeing it from their perspective, and thinking to myself, you really could have done better at that time. You could have, but you can't go back and do anything. So what you really need to do at this particular space is to make sure that they understand that you are sorry for that. You apologize for not being there in that space as you should have, or as you could have, had you really looked at it from all perspectives. I've realized in some spaces of my life I was a runner. Not running because I didn't want to face things. I ran because I thought that maybe that was the best thing for me and for them at that particular time, mainly for my children, But now, as I see, my children weren't the only people that were affected for me, not being there. There were other people in my life, that were holding up responsibilities that I should have been holding up, So it's been a very great chance to open up myself, and to understand where it is that I have been, and where some roads that I didn't take that maybe I should have. But then I look at it as this way too, because when you're going through life and you're understanding the choices that you make, and you can't go back and change them, but then you also want to know, really, should you want to change those things, or go back and change those things? Because the space that you're in now, would you have been allotted the same knowledge, the same wisdom, and all of the experiences that you have gone through? No, you would not have. But who's to say anybody would have been better or worse if you would have stayed or go? So you really don't know. But the thing of it is to apologize when you realize that all the things that a person had to deal with because you weren't there, And so, like I said, just really looking at these things, and then understanding in certain points of my life, like, ooh, God, like, ooh, I don't think I like myself at that particular space, Of course, I love myself, but, also understanding that some things I did that I myself didn't like. So it's just dealing with that, and being okay to deal with it, being okay to be ashamed and to hold some guilt about it, but to not carry that shame and guilt on. It's okay to feel it, understand why you're feeling it, and to allow it to dissipate so that you can continue to move. And so, again, this has been a very, I don't know if I want to call it a tumultuous year, but it really has been a year of great understanding. I was telling my partner, I said, I don't know if I could really call it growth yet. In 2018, when certain instances occur, I can see if I've really grown from it, because right now it's just an experience that I've just experienced, and I'm learning it, and I'm seeing how it feels, and what I want to do differently about it. So in 2018, I should be able to say, yes, I did learn from that. I did grow from that. It did expand me. It did, begin to transform me, so that, in the future, that I'm able to transfigure into the person or spirit that it is that God has called me to be. So I won't keep talking and keep rambling, because I hate when people talk and ramble. It's like, oh God, what are they talking about now? So anyway, I just wanted to share that piece with you guys. Make sure that you read the blog post. I think I do a better job writing than I do speaking. So if you notice, I write more than I do videos and things of that nature. So anyway, go check out the blog and let me know what you think. Leave me a comment on the blog. Leave me a comment on the YouTube video. Leave me a comment anywhere, or email me. If you don't want to, share what it is that you have to say out loud, where other people can actually, see what it is that, or how you're responding. Send me an email. That's kaiology12@gmail.com. KAIOLOGY, the number 12@gmail.com. But make sure that you guys subscribe to my website. And that's kai-man.com. kai-man.com. Thank you so much. And I hope that you guys are able to look at, no matter what happened in your year of 2017, as something that grew you, that changed you, and that transformed you. And don't look at it as it was a bad year, or I can't wait till that funky 2017 goes out. Whatever happened in this year, it changed you, it transformed you in some way. And anytime that something does that for you, it's a good thing. Evolve. I love you guys. Peace.